Now, deadly squatters. This Finneytown man finds out those New York prison escapees actually spent time in his upstate New York cabin. Good evening once again. Apparently, David Sweat is singing to investigators now about where he and fellow escapee Richard Matt spent time while they were on the run.
And out of the blue, a local man gets a shocking email. They were in his cabin. Tonight, he shares the incredible details only with 9 on Your Side's Julie O'Neill. Julie?
He did. Here's that little cabin where you see the arrow nestled in the thick wooded area law enforcement searched for weeks. Who'd have thought these two hardened criminals would spend time in a place affectionately called the dollhouse?
With helicopters in the air,
he followed the news coverage for weeks.
A burglarized cabin in upstate New York near the rural community of Mountain View.
And as I watched the news, they were closer and closer.
Brad Murphy of Finneytown co-owns a cabin real close to the prison Richard Matt and David Sweat escaped from.
So the prison is in Dannemora, which is right here, and I just kind of mapped out straight as the crow flies. It's 15 miles to the cabin. I had a feeling if they weren't going to go to that cabin, they were going to be pretty darn close.
Fast forward to this week, Murphy checks an email at work from a co-owner of the cabin who'd been contacted by investigators.
Sweat told them that he and Matt were at the camp with a photo of an owl and a man named Pickles. There's a guy that's a member of the camp named Pickles.
Sure enough, they find fingerprints.
For something on such national news, on such a national level, to just hit home was very surprising to me.
Though Murphy says the so-called dollhouse, because it's so small, does make a great hideout.
If you look, these are all dirt roads, and they come from different directions. You can hear a car coming when it's a mile away. It's extremely quiet.
Murphy says his dad went in on the camp some 70 years ago. Some of the co-owners, prison guards, one a prison cook. You still need a lantern for light, and you have to pump to get water, but it's always stocked.
You'll always find a bottle of whiskey and some beer in the root cellar. But so I'm sure they found some of that.
And ABC News has learned when Matt was killed, he appeared to be intoxicated.
And I did read in one of the stories that ended up being the downfall of the two, the arguing and fighting over alcohol. So who knows, maybe they were fighting over a bottle of my dad's old whiskey.
How about that? Murphy's brother, not finding this so humorous, he spends a lot more time at the camp, and he says he always feared a murderer from the prison would come knocking on the door one night. So now he's got a big I told you so. The family says they will likely have some kind of memorial at the camp because they do feel like it's somewhat of a landmark now.